Think about this. 30% of every item transported in this country is shipped by train. And come Friday, those trains carrying everything from the food on our tables to this year's Halloween costumes could stop dead in their tracks. Unions representing freight railroad workers and the major train lines can't agree on a contract. Medical time off is the sticking point. CBS 2's Chris Tide tells us commuters and consumers would feel it first.
Metra is warning commuters that if that strike happens on Friday, the majority of their trains won't run because the trains operate on lines operated by that union. And so as commuters prepare for backup plans in case that happens, a number of industries feel backed up, worrying what might be next. 1 in every 4 items shipped by rail in this country comes through Chicago. If the system all but shuts down Friday, it will be eerily quiet at this Melrose Park Union Pacific rail yard.
A national rail strike would take the supply chain challenges of the pandemic era to a whole new level.
First to feel it, farmers trying to ship fruits and vegetables this harvest season. Chlorine shortages to keep tap water clean would be next. Later, car shipments would feel the pinch, an industry just catching up from the pandemic and chip shortages.
A day or two, as we said, it's not something that we're going to feel that much. But if we start talking about a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, it's going to be really serious.
The last rail strike was 1992. Congress can step in, but Senator Dick Durbin says that's not the way to solve this.
I don't believe that's a good idea. I believe that the unions, as well as the railroads, should step up to the plate and get this done quickly.
If it doesn't get done, store shelves could get sparse once again, and prices would spike. And if it goes on too long, workers in other sectors could be idled.
We're talking about factory shutdowns. And so this is not just going to have an inconvenience for consumers. At some point, we start to quickly see the trickle down and other people losing their jobs because of this national rail strike.
Today, Amtrak scrapped 3 lines out of Union Station to the West Coast because if the strike happens Friday, those commuters would be mid-trip when the strike began. Another 3 routes to or from Chicago are being suspended starting tomorrow. When we asked our experts what's the likelihood of this strike happening, they said between 10 and 20%. In the South Loop, Chris Tye, CBS 2 News.
Shalom, Akim, Akwafi. Sabaya Allah here, the Surrogate of Yahawashi, Slice Paradise, Bow, when all praise and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Kodash. Everyone to sing the pastors and elders of Greatmillstone talk mystery from the world. Peace and salutations unto the shepherds that feed the sheep of Yahawah, which is the heavenly Father's ancient Hebrew name, the only begotten Son, Yahawashi, who the word inwardly called Jesus Christ, who are 2 dark-skinned melanated men with full heads of hair and with full beards, according to the law. Okay? And he's coming to deliver his son Yahawashi, the elect of the nation of Israel, the 12 tribes, which consist of so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Hispanic Latinos, and Native Seminole Indians, and those who descend from those 12 tribes that are scattered in every nation under heaven, who even look like the heathen nations, okay, who share their complexions and their features. All right, and speak the different tongues around the globe, but in fact, are Israelites in the spirit and in the flesh, because your bloodline goes through your father's line. All right, what you call it, the patrimony, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it's a peace and salutations unto the sincere Akim and Abwatham brothers and sisters that listen to the truth. You know, from the apostles and elders on down, who teach the truth likewise, like the men of the Lord over there at Greatmillstone and PTA and Men of Valor. All right, I'm a one-night bud, like those men. Strive for the masteries as well. There's another brother. All right, to you, I say shalom. It's a real quick video. Second Esdras 8 and 56 says, for when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, which are the Israelites, but in this time the elect, 2/3 of the wicked of the nation of Israel, also have taken part, you know, in scorning and despising the men of the Lord, you know, in our lifetimes over in captivity. Okay, so you can add them to this bunch as well. All right, because this is going to happen during the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, so it says, moreover, they have trodden down his righteous. Talking about Esau, Edom, start with the elite bankers on down, these heathen nations that have taken part in our captivity and destruction, you know. And it says, and set in their heart that there is no God. Really, Esau says this, but now even our people are saying this. Okay? So a lot of our people have been born in vain. Okay? Only to receive the harshest judgment they have they've ever received in the flesh. Okay? It's the only time where flesh and blood actually is going to be tortured. All right? Via the nuclear destruction. You know, the monstrous apparitions is going to take place upon the second Egypt, which is Babylon the Great, aka America, the second leg of the Roman Empire, and across the world, are mainly focused here, all right, because it's the spearhead of wickedness within Esau's kingdom. Okay, and it says, and set in their heart that there is no God, yeah, and that knowing they must die. This is the spirit of the Lord. This is the Lord speaking through ESDRAS. All right. So going back to what is that? Samuel's. I forget what it says. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. Roughly paraphrasing, He kills and He heals. Okay. So yes, it's the same power that's getting ready to flood the earth. All right. Is also the one who put us in captivity under Esau. Who's behind all the world wars, all these kingdoms being established, and even this one, all right? The most wickedest kingdom of them all, and the worst time in human history. It's all part of the Lord's movement, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. And it says, as for the things aforesaid, meaning to say before, shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. Okay, which is going on with this whole strike, which is the most critical right now. This strike, talking about the freight train strikes, that is going to affect everything almost immediately. Okay, they're saying whatever you saw during the CV-19 shutdowns, it's going to be double that. All right, and then some, and it's going to be almost immediate. So these are the things that are happening. These all of these crises. This is part of the Lord's judgment. Energy crises, food shortage. Okay, this is the drama that the Lord has written within prophecy, which is His movement, and it's all going to take place, and it's taking place blatantly as we speak. Okay, and this is why they're going to try to condemn and persecute the men of the Lord. Hey, Salak, the camera cut off and ran out of room. So let me continue on. It says, for it was not of His will that men should come to naught. Okay, because this is the Lord's creation. All men were created by Him, even the heathens. Esau, everything was created by Him. He was in Yahawashi. Right, who the word English called Jesus Christ, running the Hebrew Yahawashi, and angelic forces to create everything. Starting with Yahawashi, that's why He's called the first begotten. Okay, and that's why dominion under God Himself or the Heavenly Father is given unto His Son. Okay, He's the one that's coming to deliver His elect. You know, His predestined election. So, and it says, but they which be created have defiled the name of Him that made them, and were unthankful unto Him which prepared life for them. That's going back, you know, the garden. All the nations were there. The only difference was Esau, the wicked, he had melanin back then. Okay, he came back as Esau, And the Lord took that away as a curse to show you who the wicked is. That's the difference. Okay, after the flood. And it says, and therefore is my judgment now at hand. You're goddamn right. All right, Yahawashi, Yahawashi's judgment is now at hand. Okay. And let me continue on. It says, these things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee, the 144,000 and the great multitude, the men and women who will listen to this truth, woke up to this truth. They ought to wake up to this truth in the days to come. All right, and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. Now, but at what time thou hast not showed me. Okay, and that was Esdras back then, but Esdras is back here today. He sees it now. All of them see it now. All right, he came back during the time, the book of Acts. Okay, when the throne of David was being established under Yahawashi, beginning at Peter. Starting with John, St. John, and then, Peter, because Peter is the head. Shows you that's King David in the reincarnation. He's always going to be the head over all Israel as a physical king. All right, and the spiritual king over all is Yahawashi, and over Yahawashi and everything else is Yahawah. Okay. So I hope this video is edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom, Yahawashi, rock a thumb, and I'm gonna play a video right after this by a Jake woman. Ain't even a short clip going into what's going on and what's to come. So we're in exciting times. We're definitely near the end, man. Just everybody can see, all right? Except for those who are terribly asleep. It's mainly here in Babylon the Great. Our people, just in general, all right? Latin tribes that sleep, born in vain, man. Like I said, it's a great multitude that's getting ready to wake up. So, shalom till next time. Yahawashi, rock it down.
Another disappointing report on inflation as it remains at a 40-year high.
The Consumer Price Index in August rose 8.3% over last year, and Wall Street reacted. The Dow falling more than 1,200 points today, its biggest one-day loss in more than 2 years. And as CBS 2's Tim McNicholas reports, even as Americans get paid more, they're still losing in the race against rising costs.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of money leaving the wallets of shoppers like Ronnie Sano.
Yes, I have 3 kids, and since everything is really expensive.
Sano says he got a modest raise last year, but it hasn't come close to keeping up with the rising costs of necessities like groceries.
I used to buy 5 of those for $1, now $2 for the same thing and it's smaller.
And he's not alone. Bankrate.com surveyed about 2,500 American workers, and 48% of them said they got some kind of raise in the last year. But 55% said their income has not kept up with rising household costs. Even among the people who got raises, about half said it didn't match inflation.
Average hourly earnings are up over 5%. We'd normally be doing backflips over a rate like that, but inflation has been running at a 40-year high.
That 40-year mark refers to the 70s and early 80s, when the inflation rate reached double digits. The Federal Reserve drastically ramped up interest rates, which eventually brought down costs, but caused a short recession.
Oh, I think this is a different situation.
NYU economics professor Lawrence J. White says it's highly unlikely inflation or interest rates will reach those levels, but a recession isn't out of the question.
That's certainly a strong possibility. The hope of everyone is the monetary policy can tighten, that we might see a slight slowing of the economy.
Said you have 2 jobs?
Yes.
Shopper Wilson Reyes says he picked up a second job to cover the rising prices.
Right now it's difficult for everybody.
And those bills and beeps just don't stop. In Passaic, New Jersey, Tim McNicholas, CBS 2 News.